Okay everyone, for today's video, let's talk about the differences between the Java or the OOP in Java and the procedural programming. So, what is OOP? So, OOP stands for Object-Oriented Programming. So, it says here that OOP focus on creating object that encapsulate both data and method function that operates on that data. So, programming are structured as a collection of interacting objects. So OOP emphasize in modeling real world entities using object, and OOP data is tightly bound to object, and the object control how data is accessed and modified. So in terms of reusability, so OOP provides high reusability through concepts like inheritance, polymorphisms, and encapsulation. So there are in object-oriented programming has a several advantages over the procedural programming. So first is OOP is faster and easier to execute, and OOP provides a clear structure for programs. OOP helps to keep the Java code dry, that don't repeat yourself, and make the code easier to maintain, modify, and debug. So the last one is OOP make it possible to create full reusable application with less code and shorter development time. So um, there are four concepts, which is the encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphisms, and abstraction that you may use in order to solve and execute such a large-scale application that involve complex data structure and need a high level of modularity. So, just for example, I am going to execute or to solve the problem, which is I am going to calculate the area of the rectangle using these four methods, four concepts. So here, as you can see, we already created our main method, which is we are going to ask the user to prompt the his desired width and height of the area of the rectangle. So in this part, we are going to remove this um, function, and we are going to instead we are going to create a new class, rectangle. In here we are going to define a new class named rectangle that represent a rectangle object. So now we are going to create private double in order to not access direct in the outside packages of all the property of our object rectangle. So now we are going to create the constructor for our height and width. So in order to initialize a new rectangle object values for the width and height with an object is created. So simply put the double width and height, such as the its parameter, and this and that initializing the value of our width and also our height. And now after this, creating a constructor, we are going to create a method which we are going to return the value that we may need we need to return in our main method. So simply public double calculate area and return its value. So the width and the height tanggal. So now let's go to our main method. So in our main method, we are going to um, instantiate or we are going to call the method that exists in our class. So then we will use the existing method that exists in our class. Rectangle. As you can see, a lot of methods here we are able to use, but we are going to calculate the area. So let's try. So, enter the rectangle 0.2. So as you can see here, this is how the OOP stands on um, such as scale problems that may exist in real world entities. Okay, so now let's proceed to procedural programming. So it says here that procedural is a programming paradigm that is based on the concept of procedures or routines, which are simply sequence of instruction for performing a task performing this task. So, this procedure, also known as function, methods, or subroutines, are building blocks of a program. So, the program is structured as a series of steps or instructions that computer follows, or usually in a specific order. So, procedural programming focus on procedures, also known as the function or routines, as the building blocks of programming. So, data and function are kept separate, and program flows in is determined by function calls and control structures like loops and conditionals. So, it emphasizes on sequence of action or tasks to be performed. In terms of data handling, so data is typically passed between the function and function act on the data. So it is reusability code that can be reused through function, but there is limited control over how data is accessed and modified. So this is the key differences between the procedural programming and object-oriented programming. So as you can see, um, there are many differences uh, about the features, the reusability, data function, code organization, and the real world modeling. So now let me show you how does procedural programming really acts on the implementing such a problem. For example, we are going to solve the calculate the area of rectangle. So here we are going to create the main method calculate. So let's come up a function or um, a solution that we may use in order to get solve the problem. So first we are going to create a scanner in order to prompt the user of its choices. So put scanner in, and then import this one, import scanner, import this one. Then let's display um, to enter the width of the rectangle. So in order to put the value that the user prompt, we are going to put here a double dot with equals to new scanner in order to return the value to the scanner um, system. Same as process as we are going to get the height of the rectangle. So now we are going to initializing the variables that we are going to assign a value in order to calculate the area of the rectangle. So simply so with the area. So as you can see now, there are errors in calculate area because we don't it is not exist in our it doesn't exist in any of the function that I put in here. So we are going to find a way in order to make a solution for this. So we are going to create a public static top. In here we are going to create a new object that calculate the area, the function that we need to in order to get the um, the exact um, answer of our um, so let's try this one. So enter the width of rectangle, say 21, 20. So it's all done the procedural programming way.